Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here with a super quick layout that I did in response to the very first Victoria Marie Challenge Design Team Facebook group challenge. Wow, that was a big tongueful. I don't think that was correct. Anyways, Megan and Casey were up, and they decided that the first challenge should be to do something, scrap something you have been meaning to scrap and haven't for whatever reason. And the second part of the challenge was to do some hidden journaling. So I do both. And this was quite fast for some reason. I didn't do my whole process. Like I made it and like, oh, I should be making a video of this. So I then decided to film it, but I had already had the basis of my idea down. So that's why this seems so fast. So the first thing I did was I did stitch, like you saw at the beginning, the word play. And I just really loved to do a little bit of hand. I like stitching and I've been doing a lot of it, but I wanted to do something a little more of my own style, and that's my handwriting, so that is pretty fun to me. And then I decided as a second thing that would be just kind of fun, because this is a pretty basic layout, would be to do a little bit of mixed media. And I wanted to do yellow, but I didn't want it to be, oh, look at that bright sunshiny yellow. So what you're seeing me do here is I'm trying to make it obviously yellow but dimmed down, but because of the pattern paper that I've chosen, which that wood grained gradient is from the Making Homes, what is that one? Open book collection. And so I had to be careful because I have to make it read yellow and not something else. And so that's how I came up with the color I used. And as you saw, I just used a bunch of different things. And what I was using is I have something called pastels that was my mom's from many, many, many years ago. And she gave them to me. She's like, I'm never going to use them, so if you can use them for scrapbooking, go ahead. And I've been using them, and they're working great. I can mix them. I mix them in with water. I can mix them in with paint. And, I know that's not what they're meant for, but it's how I'm using them, and I really like that. So here I'm going to show you the basic of the layout. Like I said, I did this part first, and then after laying it all out, I'm like, no, this needs more, and that's how I added the mixed media. So it's a little backwards, but I know you're going to understand. So not a whole lot of embellishing to these photos. I put an overlay on the one of him with the tray. He's just finger painting basically on his tray. Pretty fun thing there. And then I add a little thing behind it to bring a little bit more texture. I'm going to add two banners, that really cool orange one, and then this is a chipboard one, I think from Simple Stories, and it just says good stuff, so that worked really well. That love is part of a frame that I cut down and used there. I thought that worked well. The red up by Jackson's face where he's standing is also part of a chipboard frame that I just cut down. I used one of my gold foil leaves that I got from Studio Calico, and a Simple Stories I Am collection ephemera little heart that I had left over. So that's basically most of my embellishments. Like, I'm done here, right? I then add two more of those little chipboard things, again also from Simple Stories, I believe, down at the bottom where it says play. And I just simply title this Early Morning Paint Play, because that's what he's doing, is just playing with some paint really early in the morning, because my son loves to be up early. So after that, I decided it needed just a couple more pieces. So I add a little thing that says love this up by that leaf in the heart. And then I added a little gold foiled little piece up at the other end. And I date stamped it with the date, which was in July. And then what you're going to see is me write out my hidden journaling here. So what I'm writing is how one morning Jackson was up really, really early, and I tried to let Sean sleep in like he has Saturday, Sundays off. So I try to let him sleep in at least one day for as long as he wants. And when Jackson's up really early in the morning, it does make it quite hard. So I was just trying to keep him occupied, and I thought, well, playing with paint would be a good way to do it. And he loved it, and he was playing with it, and then as you can see, he touched himself like on his chest and everything, so he had paint everywhere, but he loved it. And this is super washable paint. Like, you couldn't even tell once I cleaned it up that he had even played with it. But what that meant, because he was so dirty, is that he got to play with paint, and then he got to have a bath. And my son loves water and he loves to have a bath, so it was kind of like two of his favorite things to do all within one day. And the best part is it took up a good hour of the morning. And even though he was probably a little bit loud, thankfully Sean's a sound sleeper, so I don't think he actually heard any of it, but it did its job. Like, it made it so that he could sleep in, and that was the whole point. So I just really wanted to document that. And that's going to be the end of my layout. I will show you how I slid in the hidden journaling right underneath the photo. And I really love this. So you see, I just put it there, and that's where my hidden journaling is going to go. So go ahead and create your own layout, and I look forward to seeing everyone's.